All right, so this is my great grandfather's drafting table. My grandmother used to use it to wrap packages in her basement. It's a pretty cool little table. It's 6 feet by 3 feet and 3 feet tall to the bottom of the top. I believe it's the top is 3/4 inch maple. And it's got a lot of damage to it. Of course, it's a pretty old table. It's got some pretty cool features. It had a drawer under it. And it's got these leg locking braces. And you can see the cool structure of the legs. Some of the damage here. My grandmother used to fold it up and then lean it against the cinder block wall of her small basement, musty basement. So there's some edge damage here from just rot. I guess it's maple, so it doesn't do very well in water or moist conditions. And then there's checking here. It's glued up of boards that are about 4 to 5 inches wide. And so my plan is to keep it the same size, but make 2 drop leaves to it. Well, they're up leaves instead of drop leaves. I'll explain in a bit. All right, so here's some detail at the bottom. So here's the rails that had the drawer, the sliding slot so that the top can expand and contract, and these boards tend to hold it flat. There's a mounting point for these braces, hinges and things. Here's some writing. I'll try to get a better view of this. Here's the edge where there's a lot of water damage here. I don't know, maybe something dripped on it. So, you know, that I wouldn't be surprised if that was a so we have B-O-E. So my grandmother's maiden name was Boeswinkle. 237-31-5. I don't know what that is. Wood, Lippe, New Jersey, NJ. And then there's 311 Franklin Street, Southeast. And anything else? And then a bunch of scribbles on that piece of wood. Just some scrap. I would guess this was made out of scrap as a utility table. All right, folks, back here working on my great-grandfather's table. This is my garage, and right there you can see the legs and braces for the table that I showed you down at the river house. And right now, excuse me while I get my camera set up here. Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea of how bad my cutting was on the table saw. So you can see down the edge, clearly it's not a straight cut. Left side bows up, right side bows down. These are the mating edges. We also have a spline here that joined the two together, so I'll be taking part of that out in order to flatten this edge here. Let me also show you my clamping mechanism here. I created this quick and dirty. Just a 2x4 with a hinge at the bottom, and I'm using a clamp to hold it together. And then I've got a dowel here. This dowel can come out and go into these holes. So it's just a really poor man's version of a nice bench clamp. And then you notice my workbench is on wheels. And I found a nice trick to stop it from rolling by using some power cords, because everybody knows that power cords around wheels are no fun. So that's how I'm planing this guy, clamping it to the table. Doesn't need to go all the way down there. But anyway, and right now I'm working on jointing the edges of the boards that I split. So here are the boards that form the top. There's 3 there, and 4 there. And so the table saw didn't do a great job. Well, I didn't do a great job of cutting a straight line. So some of these lines are pretty wavy. But worst thing is that while I was planing this edge, you can see the rot damage. I don't think these are worms. I think this is just some rot from when it was in my grandmother's basement. But unfortunately, a couple days ago, I hit a couple, what I think are staples in the edge here. And of course, that did a number to my beautiful Lee Nielsen low-angle jack plane, which is right here, which I bought probably over 30 years ago. Paid $185 for it, and more than any power tool I've ever bought. And it is by far my favorite tool. And so I've resharpened it, and it's making reasonable shavings down the length. So I'm happy with the sharpness, and I'm not trying to win any Japanese plane competition, but you know, it's good enough for me. So I'm working on joining these, and I'll probably end up alternating the boards. One board will be right side up, the other one, next one will be upside down, because there is a bit of a bow down the length. So the left side is the top, bottom side, or right side is the bottom. So the table just bowed. It was one long 6-foot table, so it bowed down in the middle. And so I'll probably just alternate up, down to get the tabletop a little flatter. I'm not so worried about the grain. I have no idea how the grain is going here at the moment, but All right, so I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at here. Of course, this edge still needs to come down a little bit. I'm really mostly concerned about the top, but since I'm flipping these, maybe this may not be the top, but either way. So that's pretty good. That's got a little bit of light coming through there, but obviously my side is high here and here, and that's pretty decent. Yeah, little tiny bit of light there, and that's pretty good. And on the end, a little bit of light there, but that's pretty reasonable. So I'm a little high on my side for the middle foot or so. So what I'm doing is I'm start by taking off half. Obviously a little shaving here, right, one-handed. And then I try again. And then when I'm looking at the flat with the level, I'm just rocking the level to see if there's a high spot somewhere. That's a little, looks like there's a little dip right here under the Empire. The end is getting better. Let me zoom out. The end is getting closer. So it looks like we have a little tiny dip right in the middle as well. So that allows me to take more off of this end to get the very corner taken care of. All right, there was one interesting thing about this table on the bottom. No, this is the top. On the top of the table, there was this patch made. And I don't know, it's about 3 by 4 inches or so. And this came out relatively easily. So it looks like someone in the shop must have left something really hot, like a soldering iron or something on here. And so they came along later and put this patch in here. So I'm going to try and clean it up. I want to reuse the same wood. You know, dig this out. I don't know what kind of glue they used. Looks like it was, you know, probably some kind of hot glue or white glue. I don't know. And we'll see how it turns out. There might be actually a nail right here. Maybe another one here. So I'll try to be careful of that. And then I'll glue it up and clamp the crap out of it and proceed from there. Yep, here's the left side came out with nails. tiny nails. And they didn't use much glue. You can only see there's a spot here and a spot here. So it was just probably just a rush job. But man, it did burn a lot. All right, so sorry if it's out of focus here. That's what it looked like. It's a reasonable fit now. So we'll glue that, clamp it, and proceed.